Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 13 of Better Than Heroes. I'm Rachel Weeks, and I play Klik, the now level 5 Tohr-Kreen fighter. We have leveled up last episode. We have such a big episode tonight. At last, we have Lou Wilson joining us tonight from Dimension 20.
What a thrill to be here. Guys, I'm glad we can finally get it happening. I'm sorry for the delay, but look at us together.
Not at all. It's better like than ever now.
Exactly. It's better than ever.
It's like Christmas was canceled, and then the news came on, and they're like, "Wait a minute, we found Santa. He's alive. Christmas is."
Which I think that's the better way to do Christmas. I think we should always hold Christmas in peril and then give it back, so that the children are thankful.
A little terror. Nobody wants gold anymore. If you're bad, Santa will die.
Exactly.
I do agree that every year there should be a narrative that Santa is on the brink of dying, and then he gets saved, and then Christmas is much more special.
Exactly. And depending on how bad you've been is when we find out. If you were good, we find out December 15th. Yeah. We got 15 days. You bad? Oh, well, I'm waking kids up at 10 p.m. on the 24th being like, hey, it's going to be okay. You'll be here tomorrow.
We are off the rails already.
Yes,
we do have some announcements. You guys know it. A couple of exciting things before we jump into this episode. I know we've been talking about merch ideas in chat, and merch is coming. We are starting to plan merchandise, hoping to have that out to you guys by September. If you are excited about merch stuff, please make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. If you're a patron or if you like us, please click on all the buttons and bells and ring-a-ding-dings. Subscribers, please remember to resubscribe. Twitch throws you off every once in a while, so subscribe. Resubscribe, tell your friends to subscribe, and make sure you have access to our Discord if you are a subscriber. If you can't get a hold of us, hit us up on Twitter or on Instagram. We'll get you in there. But remember, the most important way that you can support this stream is by telling your friends and sharing us online. We appreciate it so much.
Totally. I'm Andrew Ovredahl. I play the human bard Flute Whimteaser, a.k.a. the Windrider. And as Rachel alluded to, we do have a Patreon. There's all kinds of cool tiers and stuff. We have a Q&A this coming weekend, actually, Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific, if you want to check that out. But yeah, there's all kinds of neat stuff on there. If you're bored, go to patreon.com/betterthanheroes.
It is a hoot and a half. We get crazy in that Discord, and I guarantee you this week, now we're going to be talking about a D&D version of the Santa Claus adventure. The Santa Claus initiative, let's call it. Hi, everybody. My name is Jordan Dahl. Thank you so much for coming. I play the now... the Moonboy, who is a now level 5 Moonboy, and I'm also going to shout out Big Top! Big Top is in the chat. Big Top Productions, our sponsor. Check them out. They're doing big stuff. We are but one of them. So shout out to Big Top. Thank you so much.
My name is Aaron Urist. I play K.A.I. Hammerstein, the Artificer. What do we got? A few shout outs to Joshua Smith, who made our fantastic Firma Regna art.
Oh, it's so good.
Can find him. Yeah, he's incredible. You can find him and his stuff on Instagram. He's every map a story on Instagram. And another huge, just infinitesimally too small shout out to our stream director, Case Drury. She's the best. She makes it look amazing. She's the coolest. We couldn't do it without her.
You can't see her, but she's back there making everything work.
She's
like Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Comes around.
And before we jump in and watch her intro video here, I just want to... yeah, there is. I'm Harlan, the DM. I'm going to be playing everybody else. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's new to our stream here tonight. If you scroll down, there's a bunch of information about the game, about where to find us online. And if you have any questions as you're watching, just ask chat. They're very nice. So with that, we're going to roll the video, roll the recap, and jump into some D&D on the other side. We'll see you soon.
Yes.
Last time on Better Than Heroes. Still reeling after the pirates' sudden attack, the crew of the Dinger gathered around the barred Flute's unconscious body. He managed to pull through.
So now you roll a 10 or above, you're alive. If you roll under a 10, Flute is dead.
19!
Badly damaged and missing a main mast, the Dinger was able to finally limp into dock at the mantis-legged port of Fermaregna. There, the crew met Swan, a friend of Captain Goliathan, who was a moss man. As they unloaded, the crew decided to bring Janice the sentient ooze along with them, as long as she promised not to eat anyone. They made for their lodgings, an inn called Your Loss, where the bartender was a plant person. K.A.I, the Artificer, gave Flute a gift, a reversible Windrider belt buckle.
I'll hold up the belt buckle. I'm going to ratchet it back to Windrider. I'll be like, thanks, K.A.I.
After many drinks at Your Loss, the Moonboy was granted status as Windrider's sidekick. Goliathan informed the crew that repairs would take a few days, and unexpectedly instructed them to remain confined to the inn during that time. Strangely, late that night, Goliathan and his friend Swan were seen leaving the inn, their destination unknown. The crew awoke the next day to more strange news. Goliathan had not returned, and the Dinger was undocked, nowhere to be found. Where has the captain gone? Is he in danger? Where has the Dinger gone? Are we in danger? Why are there so many questions this time? Find out next time on Better Than Heroes!
Every time.
Wasn't a bad time to have it happen.
Chad
it's okay. All right, we're back. Okay, cool. I'm back. All right, here we go. It's great. I get a second try. It's so good. So the scene we find our party in, and that we left our party in, is you all are waking up in this airport of an inn, this very just like stale inn inside of this beautiful city of Fermaregna, and you hear your crew member Goat's voice come over your walkie-talkie, your communication device, your sending stone that connects all of you all, and her voice is just frayed and worried, and you've heard her yell many a times, but not like this, as she has announced to you all that both Goliathan is missing and your ship, the Dinger that you flew here on, is also seemingly nowhere to be found. So I'm just going to leave it to you all to discuss amongst yourselves as a party here how you would like to react to this.
I don't know how Moonboys process alcohol, but I am so hungover. I think I will put that sending stone under my pillow as if that quiets it, and lay there with my eyes closed.
The Moonboy certainly wakes up. He hears the sending stone. Should we roll to see how hungover he is?
Sure. Both of you absolutely do Constitution saving throws for me real quick. With disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
It was already bad. Whose idea was it? I got a fucking 6.
Yeah. Yep. You are in a lot of pain. It hurts to look around.
It hurts to look around.
I got a 10.
Yeah, I mean, you are also in a lot of pain. You could imagine stomaching some food, and that's a victory for you.
Okay.
So as you are kind of like, it's taking your brains a while to like process and absorb this information, and you, K.A.I and Klik, what are you all doing as you see your companions slowly getting up and like sauntering in off the roof that they were sleeping on? What are you two doing?
I'm entering their room with a tray of hangover-appropriate foods.
You're the
so
best.
we can see that they were out on the roof.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Klik holder hangs herself out the window and smacks her Githka on the roof and says, "Let's go!" And she slams the door behind her and yells to Janice to not go anywhere.
Yes, your crew companion, she is in the shape of an elf holding a barrel right now, but she is actually as you all know, she is a ooze that has shifted herself into this form, and she needs to hide a part of herself inside of the barrel to kind of hold this form. And so she is just carrying around a barrel looking like an elf, and she has never been to another planet before. And she's like, "Yes, I will do as you say, Klik."
Janice, you don't have to carry the barrel when you're in the room. You can
Nope.
just set it down somewhere, and that would be totally fine.
That makes sense. And she puts it down and kind of sits on the bed, and you see this like umbilical cord almost that is like shiny and silvery go from her hip down into this knot through the knot hole in the barrel.
The Moonboy climbing in through the window sees that, and he goes, "Oh, Chumbawamba," and he opens a drawer and barfs strange pickles into the whatever they were eating at the bar. I imagine peanuts and
fishbone like Heathcliff.
various. Yeah.
There's a full frog leg comes out.
Yeah, increasingly suspicious things. There's like a gun and a picture of somebody tied to a chair. What did we do last night?
So the halfling member of your crew, Relic, like pushes his hair back and he's like, "Yo, what is Goat talking about? What are we gonna do if they're actually gone?" And Cobble's like, "Oh man, who is your kobold crew member on the ship as well?" She's like, "Oh man, I'm very certain I am going to die here on this planet now."
All right, let's take one problem at a time.
Yeah, you were certain you were going to die out there in space, Cobble. Maybe you're just coming to terms with mortality.
Or maybe I'm just getting closer to the right answer. And with that, you all hear what Moonboy and Flute at first think is just a pounding in their head, but K.A.I and Klik immediately realize it is a pounding on the door, as there is a knock upon the Moonboy and now the Windrider. You are in their room, and you hear this knock on their door.
The mask of my guardian armor descends over my face, and I will move as my body enlarges to answer the door.
Yeah, you see this like
Maybe too much.
Yeah, this
maybe too much, K.A.I.
All right.
Is there like a
I'll flip up the visor.
is there a blanket in this room on the bed?
absolutely yes.
I'll throw it over Janice's glistening umbilical cord as it's running across the floor.
Absolutely. No problem.
So now there's just going to be a blanket hanging. What is that blanket hanging from?
Oh, I thought it was maybe on the floor. Well, yeah.
No, you see the cord like the blanket that is like over a line. It looks like a clothesline or something. Like sinks down as she moves the connection point from her hip down to her foot.
Gross.
It's very gross.
Yeah.
So K.A.I, you shift into, like your body moves around to this more threatening form, even though you're holding a tray of goodies still too. Yeah, and you have this kind of like clicked up Iron Man mask a bit. So you're not as intimidating. You can still see your sweet face.
I will answer the door.
Great. So then, Lou, if you would like to tell the party what they see, your art will also pop up on screen, but I would love for you to go ahead and give a quick description of what they
Of course.
as well.
So as K.A.I opens the door, like kind of in the door frame and then also extending a bit outside the door frame, is this hulking kind of like thorax of this rhino beetle Tohr-Kreen, who's like, you can tell is like, you can like see like, it's like almost like you can see like this much of his face, and then there's just, you could tell that there's more going up, like kind of blue bandolier across his chest, kind of like green shaman's pants, kind of tattered old, and then like leg wrappings around his like clawed feet, and then of course he has like two larger kind of hulking, almost like armored arms, with kind of kind of monastic, like, you know, kind of like tribal adjacent, tattoos, and then he's got like his like smaller abdomen, like smaller like other set of arms that are kind of crossed, like across his like his upper thorax. Just kind of like looking down the hallway and then turning to look at K.A.I as he opens the door.
Yes. Can I help you? Good morning.
May I enter?
No.
I'm
Who
conflicted.
I apologize.
I think my companions would feel more comfortable to know your business.
Of course. My name is Angus Plow. You traveled in the company of my friend Swan, correct?
Oh, very briefly, yes.
It's true. That was the boss man. I remember him.
Is your child all right?
No. The short answer to your question is no. But yes.
You hear in the background, it goes, Mama.
I cannot worry about that now. Please, I prefer to speak in the room if that's possible.
All right, yes, please come on in. Can I offer you some pickle juice or orange juice or any assorted hangover remedies? I have some broth.
I'll take water if that's possible.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Angus is going to full headband and like diagonally step to like get his full body into the room, and like close the door behind him, and then kind of like, so who is in this? There's like a ton of people in here.
Yes. In fact, you would immediately notice that it is there are too many people in this room for like. It's not just like a huge empty room. It's just a room meant for 4 people, and there's less than that. I mean, way more than that.
6,
so there's
7 with Janice.
Yes. So there is. You see a elf sitting next to a barrel. You see a human bard, which is Andrew's character, that seems to have some sort of maybe wig going on. You're not quite sure. K.A.I is completely made of different parts, different pieces of metal. Yeah, but you can see like arcane glow under it. Moonboy is a tiny little pale gnome, and then you see another Kreen in the room as well, who is more mantis oriented, a Tohr-Kreen that you would recognize, and clearly the biggest of the bunch. And you also see a halfling with like sleek black hair. And a small kobold in a robe who is very old, and that's Cobble and Relic. Yes.
Cool. I think I like take a second to take all of this in, and then
I think we all kind of shuffle a little bit into the corner.
Yeah, there's just like that awkwardness of 8 people in a room early in the morning, and one of them is a complete stranger.
And the complete stranger is a gigantic beetle.
It's a gigantic.
Just the horn knocking against the lights.
It's just. Oh, I'm sorry. Apologies. Again, I'm sorry for barging in here like this. I just. I got word that my friend Swan has gone missing. That you were some of the last people to see him.
We saw. Excuse me. Sorry. Hello. I'm the Moonboy. Wipes his hand off.
Angus, nice to meet you. Pleasure.
He kind of comes up to your knee.
I'm the
Angus full kneels down to like meet him at his level.
Easily. This is somebody with manners, he says to the rest of them. Me and the Windrider, I'm sort of...
I don't know. It just we haven't had to click out like this before.
Where did they leave
Um,
us?
Click in.
Please
And we're
click
back. We're back. We're back. Go for
Okay.
it.
Great.
Yeah.
We're back?
Yep. Continue on, Moonboy.
Wait. Me and the Windrider were... Sorry. Me and the Windrider were drinking all night in the bar. They named a drink after me. They call it the Moonboy. Anyway.
Perhaps a sense of urgency, Moonboy.
Yes.
We saw them.
Angus looks at Klik and is like,
They were drinking in the corner.
They were sitting in the corner.
They were sitting in the corner. They were drinking. Seen missing. I woke up on the roof.
Okay.
observed
We know
them.
our captain and our ship are also missing. We know that
Right.
he's friends
Yes.
with
They are-
Swan.
They were
are old
together.
friends.
fantastic. All right. And I right to assume that I've been hearing around town about someone going after those damned widowers and taking out a couple of their ships. Would that be?
You might know something about that. Yeah.
Well,
Yes, we had a brief encounter on the way into the city. Very brief.
Well, on behalf of from Regna, personally, I'd like to thank you for doing us all a damn favor. But so you know, if word's getting around town that you all are messing around with the widowers, there's a good chance. I apologize. There's a good chance that the widowers know you're around town as well. And I don't know if there's a safer location for you all on the reg, but if there's a chance you'd be willing to come back with me, and we might be able to figure something out about finding my friend and possibly your captain, I think we should move quickly.
Relic goes, "Fuck yeah!" The little halfling guy. He's like, "Yes."
I appreciate this one's enthusiasm.
He's willing to say the word.
yes.
Can I do a hungover insight check on what Angus is telling us?
Yes, absolutely. And Angus, you can. Would you also do a history check for me, real quick?
Yes, of course, happily.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's
a 23.
6 history.
Okay, cool. Yep. This crew just looks so flotsam jetsam, like they are from all different parts of the universe, and you're just like, damn, this is a wild crew.
Yeah.
What did you get on insight there, Andrew?
23.
23. All right. You can tell him how honest you were being. He got a 23. If you would like to hide anything, you absolutely can roll to see if you can beat a 23, and then you can just lie away if you want to.
I don't think Angus isn't hiding anything. I think Angus is concerned about his friend, and the people. I think there's, if anything, there's a disdain for the widowers in his voice that maybe comes across, and the classic friend of my enemy, or the enemy of my enemy is my friend situation. Maybe there's a little bit of that in his immediacy with like the trust in that he's showing.
Do you know anywhere that they would go? Do you know Goliathan or Captain?
No, I'm not familiar with this one Goliathan that you speak of, but I know from Regna, and I've been doing my best to keep track of the widowers' movements. And if there's any chance they're connected to this, I may have some idea of where our friends may be.
You think they were kidnapped?
Certainly possible.
I wouldn't put it past the widowers.
They were waiting for us when we first made our way towards the city. It seemed that they were waiting for us. Maybe specifically, or perhaps they were waiting for anyone who happened by.
In fact, Angus would know that this is a common move by the Widowers to as new ships that are unprotected come into Firmarigna, kind of like jumping them, taking their stuff, or taking a bribe, and then kind of accusing them of being pirates if they don't schmooze them or whatever. So you recognize the story a mile away.
As you start telling that story, Angus is just full on you see just his whole you see his lower arms come out and flex, while his upper arms also come out and flex, and veins in his neck pop out, and he's just yes, a familiar tale. Sounds like their abhorrent tactics with regard to taking advantage of those who would seek refuge here in Firmarigna. Anyway,
would you like some more water?
Yes, more water.
Yes, all right. Here you are.
And I wouldn't mind a drink on the way if we decide to depart.
I vote. We've got exactly one friend here in Firmarigna, and that's him right now.
Angus is a little flattered. That's very kind of you.
I mean, the bartender did name a drink after me, but if I'm being honest, I paid him to do it, and it was like pulling teeth.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. You picked a horrible hotel in terms of wanting any sort of charming experience.
Right. And the bathtub is horribly small, and he points to the toilet. Classic gag.
Well, if the Widowers know where we are, we should leave immediately.
We have no way to leave. Our ship is missing.
We should go with.
That was made clear.
I am in possession of a ship, if that is a problem.
That.
Well, have you dealt with the Widowers before? I was at the Windriders.
Have I dealt with the Widowers before? Many times. And it has never worked out so pleasantly for them.
Okay.
I imagine.
Yeah, good. You would imagine correctly.
See?
They are a scourge on Firmarigna. And the sooner their removal is brought about, the sooner this place will return to a place of peace.
Relic, the halfling, pipes up and is like, "Hell yes, this is it. He's got a ship that we're gonna be legends." He's kind of talking to himself almost. And Cobble sits down in the bed and she's like, "I'm gonna stay here. You guys let me know how it goes."
All right.
If Cobble is going to stay, perhaps a number of us should stay. Well, not us, but you, Relic.
You specifically. We don't have a ballista to bring along with us. You know.
He's like, "Does your ship have any guns?" He says to you, Plow.
No, not
Angus. Plow. Yeah, sorry.
Not so much. It's for my line of work, I prefer speed. We're not especially equipped for combat.
I could throw a knife. He's kind of getting defensive now.
It's a ship, so throwing a knife would be at another ship. I walk over to what is this? What is your name?
Relic.
Relic. You seem strong and confident and powerful.
She's also very tiny, so I imagine you bent over again to him.
Yes. It's another Neil situation. But perhaps your skills are best suited for another time.
Relic, we need you to guard. We need you to guard Janice.
Yes.
This elf
can't take Janice with us.
What? I would very much like to go, she says.
We know. But it would be best, and it would be concurrent with our agreement that you stay somewhere safe. And if that is deemed to be here, then it is here that you must remain.
That's true. I'm just saying I could be of help if you need to
He could throw knives from the boat. What if another boat comes up alongside us and they've got a guy who's throwing knives too? We could need him.
Relic's or he could die.
Yeah. Relic's like, see, Moonboy understands. And Janice goes, I can't throw knives, but I can do... And she looks at Angus and kind of like is confused on whether or not she's allowed to talk about it. And let's have you do an insight check real quick, Angus.
Oh,
and you can do it with advantage.
Okay. Let's see. That's going to be a 25 insight. So what's going on with Janice? What's the truth of Janice?
You see, as she stands up, the blanket just slips a little bit from the point where it meets the barrel. Ooh. And you see this silver strand going from the barrel that is like kind of like clearly going under this blanket and touching her like leg. And when she is pausing and speaking, you can tell that she is doing that thing where she's like, I don't know, it's like a kid in trouble a little bit, but also like not sure if he's allowed to talk about this thing around other people's parents or whatever. Like she's just like looks very suspicious, and you can tell that she is some sort of shifted shape.
I think go ahead.
This is our friend, the Droplet pulled from the pool, also known as Janice Droplet.
It's from the pool?
She's a big slime ball that can sometimes look like an elf and likes to devour people to gain their thoughts.
But she doesn't, because
I have made a deal. I have made a deal where I will not eat anybody without their permission. She says to you in like a very like awkward tone.
Also, that's not exactly it. Now I'm worried she's confused about the rules.
Okay.
She's our prisoner friend, terrifying pet.
She's a companion.
Angus, this is there might be like a tad bit here that is almost a relief, because you have this like wiggling feeling in your brain that you recognize this elf from somewhere, and when that clicks, you're like, oh, it's not that elf, and you realize that the elf form that she has taken on is someone is wearing the clothes of someone from the Meridian Tract, which is a organization that you have messed with before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Janice, that's a rather fantastic disguise.
Thank you. I like it too.
You
are very big. It's impressive.
Thank you. It's not something I particularly worked for, but your remarking on it is, while awkward, kind.
I see.
Well, this seems to be a. I don't want to tell you how to crew your, your friends, comrades, kidnap victims, prisoners, whatever kind of connections you may have here.
That about sums it up.
It is.
Yeah, all right.
I would agree.
Somewhere in there.
Somewhere between a friend and a prisoner and an enemy?
No.
Oh.
No, we have an agreement.
A friend of her.
I'm still a little frightened of her. She's a powerful creature.
I mean, someone said the word devour earlier.
Yes,
and,
I can change into things because I devour them. I have eaten this elf, which is why I can look this way.
What was the elf's name?
She's a bit spooky.
Watch. She can do this thing. What was the elf's name? This one you're wearing?
She says the name immediately as my Google Doc from that first session.
I thought you were just going to make one up. I apologize.
No, I established it. That's why.
You definitely mentioned it.
So that is the crew, and she would like to go. She is requesting to go with you all, but you all can kind of like make that decision.
How many people does my ship fit?
It can fit 15.
Oh, okay, great.
Yep.
I think in my head I was like 2 or 3, but 15 is good.
Yeah. Dingy.
I mean, if we are all headed to a ship, then perhaps it makes sense to bring the entire crew if everyone is potentially in danger.
Okay.
I mean, we're gonna have to.
The question is whether
Hey, wait a minute. Now that I'm awake, I could ask the moon.
You could ask the moon.
Cobble's like,
with the moon?
Yes. Well, I don't like to brag about it, but I talk to the moon. I do like to brag about it. Yes, I talk to the moon, and she tells me things, and I tell her things, and we're very close. Here, I'll show you. And he pulls his pointy hat off, and he sticks his head into it, and you hear him talking in there. And I cast Augury.
absolutely.
For the first time today.
Yeah. So this inside the stars light up inside of your hood. The moon kind of like zooms from far away and kind of like gets bigger and bigger and turns around. And Aaron, if you would like to voice the moon, Aaron voices the moon.
I'm so excited.
Hello, Moonboy.
Hello, the moon.
Hello.
It's good to see you again. You too.
You as well.
You look well. Listen, we're in our ship got stolen. I don't know if you've been watching. I presume you're mostly always watching. But our ship got stolen, and we met a new friend, and it looks like we're going to have to make a bit of a... We're going to have to sleep rough for a few days. We're going to be on the lam. Now, we're wondering, is it a bad idea to split up the crew right now, or a good idea?
Let me think about it.
Yes, you take your time and think about it.
Let me talk to a different, bigger moon.
Sure. You check in
Moon
with...
takes off her hat.
Moon takes off her hat.
Just my face appears.
Moons.
Inside is Ireland.
Moons within moons. Moons all the way down.
Moon to a sun to a black hole.
Right, let me check in with my boss, the sun.
Yeah.
The moon just kind of like does a 180 inside of your hood, and its face comes back around, and it gives you a woe to splitting up the party.
Okay,
Oh.
You should stay with your friends, Moonboy.
You're right. I can't believe I even considered leaving them. You know,
I forgive you.
you always do, the moon. I should go. I hope I get to see you again someday, the moon.
You will.
You know what I mean.
How long does he normally spend looking into the hat?
And right as he says that, the moon boy, his head comes out, and he goes, "No, everybody comes. Everybody has to come. They all have to come."
Everybody comes.
Harlan, while that's happening, can I look out the window? I'm kind of nervous. Look out the window, see what I can
absolutely.
see
Do a
out of the
perception check. Yep.
That would be a 14.
It's a pretty bustling day out there. You can see the city is, as its walls kind of circle around everything, and there's bridges connecting everyone. You don't see any disturbances outside of the inn at all. Like, you don't see torches and pitchforks coming for you. You do see Goat hurrying from the dock that she was at before, cutting up through the inn. Like, you catch sight of her as she's like running up, and so she's coming your way.
Right.
But Janice is now excited and has picked up the barrel. Relic is already leaving the door once that has been determined.
Everybody comes with us.
Cobble's kind of like pouting, but just stands kind of like, I'm staying behind him. She like points to Angus, and
Perfectly all right.
um,
Well, shall we mosey?
Let's mosey.
Let us mosey.
so this
If the moon says.
This cruise sets out, and right as you all are kind of like exiting this tavern, Goat, and the final crew member that you have not met, she is a large Goliath woman. She comes like exasperated, out of breath, and she's as big as you. She is probably a little bit taller than you, and she is
Angus is not used to this.
She looks at you and she goes, do you know where Goliathan is? Like, she says to the group, like, and she's like pale and shaking, kind of very nervous.
We are working on it. This is Angus, a new friend and associate of Swan's, the friend of Goliathan's we met yesterday. We are going to accompany Angus to the ship.
But obviously Swan must have kidnapped him or stole it was his dock. He must have stolen our ship. Like, she's like kind of like out of her jawy voice, as it's like high pitched and nervous. Like, she's kind of like, and then she just like takes some deep breaths and it's like, oh, I just she kind of like
Klik isn't super familiar with hugs, but does attempt to give her a forearmed hug, which she has learned explicitly from K.A.I, who only has 2 arms. So the other arms are not sure where they go.
She goes low waist.
So
low waist,
it's
awkward
like
hug.
She just kind of grabs her butt with the other 2. Like, the top 2 are a hug formation, and the bottom 2 are too much.
Formation.
And she's like, oh, Klik, thank you. And she goes, I don't. We need to tell the authorities. We need to tell some sort of official. Our boat has been stolen. I don't know who this guy is. You guys are just gonna go. What are you gonna do?
Put a hand on, or I'm not gonna put a hand on Goat, but I clasp all 4 of my hands in front of me, and I'm like, though we have not met, I must tell you that the authorities on Firma Regna are not always in the right. And this is a situation that we can handle ourselves. Can I make a persuasion check?
Absolutely. Yep, you can.
Can I help him by being like, as you can see, our friend speaks with a soothing demeanor.
Yes, you can take advantage. Between that and the hug, you can take advantage.
That'll be a 17.
Yeah. All right.
I was going to say, you don't want my actual assistance.
Yeah. She got a 13, so she is going to. You see this like flare up in her. You can see it because you're a master of emotion alongside your skills. Like you have a disciplined mind as well as disciplined body, and the way you communicate this to her, she can just immediately recognize this certainty, this steady hand, and takes in your calm demeanor, and it's like, well, shit. I don't want to be an adventuring party, but I guess sometimes you don't get to pick what happens to you, huh? Kind of like looks around. Yeah.
Sometimes the world adventures you, Goat.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said.
Klik for everyone who's new to the chat. So Tohr-Kreen don't have mouth parts to speak in common, so she speaks through a translator that is a speaker on her chest. So when she speaks, you hear common, but also menacing, clicking mandibles underneath.
Terrifying.
As delightful she is, it's almost a little bit of buggier than you're picturing.
Also, we've definitely met a couple of Tohr-Kreen who do speak common quite well, which makes
you've met Kreen, you've met different types of bugs.
Right, which makes me think that Klik is just doesn't want to learn it.
I don't have lips, Moonboy. I don't have them.
Is Angus the same kind of?
You have jars and jars of lips in your bunk. I've seen them.
Klik is Tohr-Kreen and he's Tohr-Kreen, right?
Yeah, Angus is. I don't want to speak for you, but just to establish the canon real quick, is that you are a beetle Kreen, so you have this you're basically just like another ancestry completely, and because of you are speaking common directly.
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
Not all Kreen are the same. We have different backgrounds, and but yeah,
and broods.
Yeah, exactly. My mom was Kreen and my dad was a kind of Kreen, and I'm I'm a mixed Kreen. That's why my tone is a little lighter.
Sure.
No, well, I think I look at Goat and I'm like, I appreciate you. Well, friend. I apologize. Oh, go ahead.
She looks at you and goes, "I just don't want us all to die." It's like it's just this moment where you like are. She's having an easier time talking to you about what her worries are because you're a stranger than her friends in this situation. She's just like, "Please help us."
Yeah.
I will do all that I can, but of course understand that death is a natural part of life and comes for us all. Though it's,
I'm going to put my
helpful,
hand
not
on Goat's shoulder and be like, "Don't worry, Goat. I'm not going to let that happen. Not
inevitable does not mean that we need to live in a constant state of worry."
Cobble's like, I like this guy. I like this guy a lot.
Snap a look at Cobble, who is constantly worried about her own death.
She's like, could he just be our new captain? I like this guy a lot. This is going really well.
Oh, he is a captain. We would like to see your ship.
Oh, yes. Well, come along. And as they walk, I think Angus is going to kind of turn around and be like, I apologize for the immediacy and my desire to kind of... I'm very much worried about my friend Swan. From where do you all come? How did you come to Firma Regna?
Space. I'm from space. They found me in space.
Oh, just space?
Floating in space.
We did find him floating in space. That is true.
But
Moonboy could be classified as debris.
That's true.
It's on his birth certificate.
On the papers they got me officiated, it says debris.
Right. And you are I apologize. Boy is in what you'd like to be called. Are you a child?
No, I don't think so. I think, no, I seem to remember, or at least feel quite old. But they called me the Moonboy, and I like it. I am a Moonboy. I'm friends with the moon, that makes sense.
This is true.
Yes. I wish I could tell you more, but I don't remember much more before the wake up times, I call it. On the boat when I woke up.
Cool. Yeah, this whole conversation is happening as you all are moving through this kind of like a part of the city that's getting more and more crowded. We're going to pop the map up on the screen here so you all can see this wonderful art by Joshua Smith. And the party can also see it in Roll20 if you want to look at it. But so you all are moving kind of away from the city center, or this part of the city, toward the outer rim of the farthest circle, and you all can see a couple of the landing pads that you all landed on when your ship came here, and there's a smaller one kind of like out on its own that is being at first you think there's just a bush kind of like blocking the path that has a desk next to it, and then as you all get close to it, it kind of like stands up and shakes itself. And you, Angus, this is the dock, the owner of this dock, a nice older bush gentleman, and he kind of waves at you and is like, "Hey, how's it going?" And
good to see you, Leaf.
And you as well. He's like, "God, quite the crew you got here today." Going,
yes, new friends from space.
Well, aren't you lucky? I've had very few friends in my life, and but when I've got them, they've been good. I'm super happy for you.
Hey, Leaf, let's work on that. All right, you could do better. All right, you don't need to settle for fewer friends.
No, I just find it complicates things. I'm not really lonely. I just don't want to talk to people that often.
Well, hey, Leaf, you've clearly thought long and hard about your lack of friendships and come to some sort of place of acceptance.
I think you really, that's why I like you, Angus, is because I don't have to say much to you for you to really get the whole picture of what's going on.
You can't force these things. It's the natural way.
Yeah, and also you pay well for your docking fee is always generous. I got it all washed out for you, and if you want to describe to the party what your ship looks like, you are more than welcome to just wild out with it.
Oh, he looks at Leaf and is like, great. Guys, this is Serenity. And Serenity is like this, like, smaller, like, very kind of, like, thin, kind of, iridescent ship. Like, it catches the light very well, and it's almost like, it's like far from invisible, but there's just this kind of, like, just the way, like, things, it, like, very much takes on, like, kind of a metallic-y version of the colors around it. And it's, like, very thin, kind of has, like, not wing. I don't think it has wings. I think it's more like it's closer to a flying saucer than not like true saucer, not like a true saucer. But it's like very like circular.
Manta ray.
Exactly. It kind of like gets it down to a point. I think like Serenity is like kind of like etched in it very softly. Like again. Not like it's not screaming it. Would it
be fair to say that this is a sick ride?
Angus would never describe it as such, but boy, oh boy, is it a sick ride.
In terms of the ships we've seen so far, is this like pretty cherry?
Yeah, I mean, it's you've never seen a ship like this. It's very unique, and it's clear to Goat especially that this ship is built for speed, and the shimmer to it, this like soft view that you described does allow it. You can imagine how it would give it some camouflage if it would, in a lot of situations. So it is a cool as hell ride. I will absolutely,
This is exquisite.
Truly. It gets the job done.
Yeah.
The Moonboy instinctively whistles low.
Like an R2 unit.
No,
as we're walking, and I'm nervously scanning the crowd, is there anyone who's like particularly interested in us as we're walking through these docks?
Do a perception check, and one other person in the party can do a perception check as well.
I got a 16.
Go for it.
I will roll a perception check. Okay. 19.
Great. There you see someone is kind of like, as you all head up toward the ship, someone is like bothering Leaf, you can tell. And it's very clear immediately that they are asking Leaf questions. They're like pointing over at you all and asking Leaf questions.
Did I see this too, or just Klik?
Yep, you saw it too.
Okay. They're just asking around. Is this a person by themselves?
Yep, person by themselves. Is a human man.
Okay.
Is he wearing widower's colors, or is he just dressed like a civilian?
He's dressed like a civilian.
Okay.
But you would know that widowers don't often, unless they are in a situation, like it's very common for widowers to like conceal themselves in this situation.
Okay.
And unless anyone has anything they can do in this moment to stop it, he is then going to slip into the crowd and move away from you all.
Nothing to offer. How far is he from me?
He's like 60 feet.
Probably too far.
And it looked like he was kind of like shaking him down. No pun intended.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Because he's the tree?
Because he's a bush?
He's a leaf. His name's Leaf.
Yeah,
shaking like a leaf.
Shaking like a leaf? Doing a leaf joke?
I'll head over to, I'm gonna call out. I'm gonna be like,
Hold up, my friend. Hold up.
The guy going away.
The guy as he's going into the crowd. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's gonna move faster now. If you say something to him, he's gonna look back at you and try and like run and like dip through into the crowd deeper.
I guess I'll look at Klik and see if she's wants to run with me or not.
I don't know if I can catch him if he's 60 feet away and now he is running.
Yeah, he's a good probably even with you moving after him, he's a good 90 feet away from you now.
Yeah, I won't catch him. I'll clock him and just try and remember what he looks like.
Sure.
I think that's a good move.
Yeah, and
okay.
In general, I'm scanning the crowd and making sure that we're not being followed, but I am also keeping a sharp eye on Janice.
Cool. Yeah, she is just kind of following following instructions, staying, trying to do her best to stay in line, and prove it to you too.
Okay, if one of us carried the barrel, would she be tethered to the barrel?
Yes.
Her little Uzi core is inside the barrel.
Yeah. She'd be dangling a little leash.
Yeah, you don't know the extent of her ability to fully come out of it, or how long the cord goes. But yeah,
loop out of the barrel.
Janice, you're dangling a little leash there, hon.
Yeah, little shoelaces. You're drooling. You're drooling.
Yeah, I don't know who amongst the crew just saw that, but
all right, time to go.
I think we bail faster than ever.
Yeah.
I think the Moonboy is already kind of getting on the ship and making himself at home. He takes his shoes off first for some reason.
That's fine. Yes, please make yourselves at home. Also, in terms of shape, just went and looked at it. B-2 bomber, not as strong of an edge, kind of like a softer back.
Ooh, I love that.
Oh boy, that's so cool.
Nice.
I love that.
But Angus Angus also is big for the ship. The ship doesn't accommodate Angus's size. Angus is doing a lot of seemingly routine, but a lot of shimmying and shifting to move around the ship. But it's there's water over there. Engineering is down that way. I'll be headed to the cockpit up front.
Is there anything I can assist you with?
Your
some technical skills.
Yes. If you'd like to man navigation, you're more than welcome to.
Okay.
Luke,
I don't know how ships work in Spelljammer. So,
actually, this is a little thing we didn't discuss because I wanted to keep this part a surprise for you. So a thing you would know is that you're from kind of below deck, this slick backed hair looking Aarakocra, a bird person that looks like a mallard duck humanoid, comes up from below, and he goes, Angus. And he goes, Are we going? I'm so excited to get rolling. And he kind of rubs his wings together. And this is your captain, Squawk.
Squawk.
You're the person who pilots the ship for you, so you can do other things because you can only make it fly when you're flying it. So he flies and you do other things. Yeah.
I like it's like a predator handshake with Squawk. Just hard, hard Squawk. Yes, today's the day. These are Swan's friends. Moonboy.
You found it.
Klik.
You know where he is for moving?
No, but it would seem that he was with another captain last night when he was taken. So I was thinking, you know how widowers just acquired those 3 docks in town. My guess is that
it pisses me off. They shouldn't get to own docks. It's hard enough for anyone to get a dock started in this town, and they come in and he's like, "I'm sorry."
Just walk in.
They just walk in. They just walk in.
Have to act as if they don't have to follow the established order that we've worked so hard for.
They don't even know. They don't even. These two are just yelling back.
These guys are having a huge.
Drop them.
Local political discussion, and Moonboy's getting into the snacks. He's opening those peanuts. He looks at Windrider. He's like, "Do you want me to make you a Moonboy? I think he's got all the stuff here."
I will walk up to the two of them and just touch shoulders and say, "Perhaps it's time to go."
Mm-hmm. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate you, Klik. It is time to depart. Squawk. Can you get us ready to go?
You gotcha. Sorry, we could just go all day back and forth.
I mean, of course. Hey, you say Woodward. Say it, and I'm ready.
I can't.
Say it, and I'm ready. Don't say Squawk. Just go off. Say it.
Widower.
Bam! Like hard punch, just like smash, huge dent in the side of the ship. Okay. I turn to my new friends. I apologize. I apologize.
Better out than in, I always say.
I will buff that out for you, no problem.
On the Serenity, we love Ferberigna and we hate the Widowers. That better be clear.
I just want to get that straight across.
I think we fall in line with that worldview.
Great. Then we're going to get along. We're going to get along real good.
Ferberigna too.
And he goes, well, if we're taking the ship into their docks, we're just crashing straight in, buddy boy. Like he's like, there's only one. If we're taking the ship over there, there's only one way in, and that's right up in their faces. So that's exciting.
I think Angus turns to his friends and is like, "How does right up in there sound?"
That sounds excellent.
Sounds good.
I guess I'll go a little green since I just did that.
Okay. All right.
We are well suited to ride up into it.
Cobble, Relic, the halfling, Cobble, the kobold, and Goat are all like, can we hang out with you? And Squawk is like, yeah, come on down. He's like, you guys can just chill below. That's cool. We'll be safe.
Janice, you should go with them.
Okay. She kind of like puts her head down and she's like, if you let me eat someone, that would be one less person to fight.
That I would actually, I want to talk to K.A.I about this exact thing. Because, I think the Moonboy goes, you know what? I think we will have a chat about that. What do you say, K.A.I?
We will have a chat about it.
We're going to chat about it.
For now, just hang out with the rest.
And Squawk goes, well, you have about a minute and a half for me as I pull a ship around, so you guys can talk about it then. He's like, everybody get on. And he pulls the crew down below, and he heads down, and you all are on deck, and you just feel this, you felt your ship before kind of like have this moment of going into flying, and this is like so smooth as it up here, and as it starts to move, it's almost jarring how much you don't move, as it's just cool. Like sleek and smooth, and it pulls up off of this dock, and you see Leaf below just like waving at you all and opening a book, and your ship pulls along the edge of this big mantis-legged city, and you kind of like go out and around, and you can see the side of the ship kind of just like taking on a bit of the light that's hitting it. So it almost looks like a glimmer more than anything else. And it's wrapping around toward another of this like bridge mouths that's on the front part of the city. And we're going to cut to break here in just a second. But before we do, I would like Klik and Flute to roll a real quick perception check.
Mm-hmm.
As they do that, I would like to pull K.A.I aside and be like, this is the moment, right? This is the moment we let her off the leash.
I'm just worried about it.
She needs to feed, K.A.I.
Does she?
She needs
on people
to feed.
I got a 13.
Great.
I rolled a 19.
Great.
Yeah.
Not as you can tell, the Angus would kind of point out one of the docks that you all are going to as you're like coming around this, and it's another one as like the one you landed on that has a top to it that just seems to have this fleshy lid that pulls over it. I know, it's awful.
You're so into the fleshy. It hasn't
It's
been
so
always fleshy with you.
It's so
Angus,
fleshy.
Angus points down and is like,
dirty
"Do you see
and
the fleshy one right there? The especially fleshy one? That's where we're
The
headed."
one with the big mole.
Yes,
Get the
yes. And a couple of
mole.
hairs, just a couple of hairs right there and there. Yeah.
Covering.
I can see why they picked it. It is very especially fleshy.
I think
Yes.
it's like a 5 skin.
No.
Nastiest thing I've heard all day. Nastiest thing I've heard
That was
all
really
day.
bad.
All day.
Yeah.
You haven't said anything all day. You had to say.
Not canon. Not canon.
You're
Kai
moving.
does not know.
You're moving from this east part of the city over here. That's like this upper bridge civilization that's arcing above everything else to this more northern part of the city. That's another kind of like similar pocket up on the bridge here. And he points out to the one you're going to, and not at that one, but at 2 docks over, which are all just kind of like open platforms, unless they have the fleshy lid. You also see docked at one of these ports is the elven ship that has chased you all from before. Its big long wings are kind of like pressing down into the platform, and it seems to like absorb it a bit as it has landed here about 2 docks away. And with that, we're going to cut to break real quick. We're going to take just a short 5-minute break. We're all going to drink a liquid, and we're going to pee. We're going to drink, pee, and then we'll be right back in less than 5 minutes. So we'll see you here in just a second to be back and finish the session off. All right. See you soon, y'all. Case, let me know when I'm out. All right, we're out. All right. Woo. straight into it. We're just jumping straight into it. For anyone who's hanging out, this is Lou Wilson. He's our guest on this episode. Thank you for being here with us. I'm very excited about it. So you all are on Angus's ship, your new friend in Firma Regna, and you're going to save his friend Swan and your captain Goliathan, supposedly, is the information that Angus has given you all. And this sleek ship that you are on is whirring around the city. And there's a moment when you all are kind of like, okay, you know, he did say straight in here, and like you can see it kind of like going down, and you're thinking, like, you're just having that tactical moment of like, okay, cool, now's the point where we're going to make a plan to how to approach this. And you hear the person who is helming the ship, this Aarakocra duck, who, you know, his name is Squawk, who is Angus's friend, go, "Widowers!" He just like yells from below deck, and you can tell
Angus calls back and starts pounding on the top of the ship.
And this, with that, like, the ship just almost nosedives straight down at this dock, and then kind of like, you all can feel it. Before you couldn't feel it. You're like impressed with how smooth this ride is. But in this, you feel that roller coaster stomach jerk as it drops down, and then kind of you feel that jarring stop as it kind of power slides up and just floats itself right down into this opening that is open to the sky and is far enough out on the edge of the cliff that no one from Firma Regna would be able to like walk around or like, you know, get into it. The only thing that can come into this spot is a very small ship, and luckily you all have a very small ship as it kind of pushes itself down here into the opening, and the top deck of your ship is immediately aligned to this ground floor, and you see it is like in this like jarring moment, this like of adrenaline, the first thing you see is the dinger beat up and parked on the other hidden under this fleshy lid that is covering this dock, and it is beat up and tied to one of the broken parts of the ship is both your captain Goliathan and Swan the Moss Man. And you see that, like, you're like, oh great, this is easy, and then all of a sudden you see three figures kind of like move from the side here, and they're like, not you again, Angus. And you see two characters step forward, and one of them has kind of like, it's a human man who has this like punk jacket on and has a big t-shirt, just like a white cloth shirt that has the widower's emblem real big and like drawn on with like terrible
wearing his own merch.
Yeah, he made these in the garage.
Shirt to the concert, you fucking dork.
There's a centaur holding a chain, and who has a tattoo across its forehead of the widower symbol. And then you see someone in like very, like a tall, lanky humanoid and toward the back, like following them up. And you can't quite tell much about them because they're wearing kind of like a cowl, and they're wearing very sleek black clothing. And let's have you all roll initiative.
Do I recognize any of these people?
You can, along with your initiative, you can roll a history check.
Great.
Natural 20.
Oh, look at
that. Every time the worst initiative.
That's guy at the back. You never like to see a guy at the back, you know, just lurking.
Yeah, that's never good.
Although you said it was like sleek with a hood, and I'm picturing very like Madonna, very
same.
like form fitting, like
just waiting for the choreography to kick in.
That centaur with a chain sounded like he could bust a move.
That's all. All of that was pretty metal. I'm not gonna lie, Harlan.
Thank you. I love metal.
Yeah. Yeah, good. I'm glad. In this moment, I'm glad.
Yep, thank you. I wore my Bong Ripper shirt as we drove through Utah this last weekend, and
Smart.
the long-haired people at the gas station were like, "Hey, cool shirt!" Like every single time. Okay, cool. So I got.
Hey, man, take us with you, please.
Kai, you got a 20. Flute, what did you get?
Oh, I got a 9 on my initiative, and I got a 10 on my history.
Cool. Klik, what did you get on initiative?
8.
And Moonboy?
14.
And then that brings up Angus. What'd you get?
23.
Oh, boy.
That's my total also.
Okay. Well, just
but he probably has a higher dex than me.
Real quick, I'm gonna let him go first because he's the guest.
Yes.
Thank you, Kai.
Yeah.
He knows. He hates these guys. Let him go.
I really do think he needs to work something out. You saw that whole punching the ship thing.
But real quick before that, Flute, you do recognize the studded leather jacket human as someone who who you have encountered before, and in some of the widower activity that you were involved in, he was also involved in. I'm just going to kind of leave it there. We can sidebar about it, or if it matters in this fight too, he will recognize you. So
okay.
Okay, great. So that's going to bring up.
Dash.
That's going to bring up Angus. You were the first person to go in this combat. As your ship is all up here, if you open the Roll20 board, I'm going to move this ship over here so you all can see. Sorry, I moved the wrong ship. This is your ship here. It is not accurate with how cool your ship is.
Sure.
But
this is merely a historical representation of what the ship was like at the time.
Right, exactly, yes. So, you've kind of like power slid up here, and then you do notice another small ship that is similar to the one you all took down before, and then the dinger is over here, and the centaur is the orange token, which I will name right here, and the pink one is the human man, and this blue token in the back is the cloaked creature, and Angus, you can do whatever you would like.
Great. Angus steps off the oh, go ahead.
Sorry, quick clarification. We can see this elf ship. Is that on the map? Is that what this boat is?
No, it is that boat is that looks like one of the widower ships. Yeah.
The elven ship is out of view.
Yes.
I just want to make sure we're not going to be dealing with this.
Different dock entirely, right?
Okay. So
that's correct.
Another fight another day. Great. Okay, so this is a widower-looking ship.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead, Angus.
Great. Angus steps off the ship and is like, all right, well, as I told you before, you had 2 choices. Either your body leaves Thermaregna by choice, or your soul leaves on my terms. And I'm going to charge at the centaur. Angus has 50 feet of movement. So I'll clear that easily.
Yo!
Let's go off. Let's do it. Okay.
I'm gonna see this Angus.
My God, that's a terrifying charge.
Does a 19 hit?
Absolutely it does.
Great. 19 hits. I'll attack again. So cool. Does a 17 hit?
17 hits exactly.
Great. Yep. So that'll be 2 attacks straight up. That's going to be 19 damage, and then I'll flurry of blows.
Get in there.
Burn a key point. Here we go. That's going to be another hit. 22. 22 on the first hit. That'll be 11 points of damage. And then when as an open hand technique monk, whenever you hit with one of your flurry of blows, you can impose one of the following effects. That centaur needs to make a DC 14 dexterity saving throw, or he is prone.
He succeeded.
Great. One more.
You're gonna knock a horse over.
Attack. That's gonna be
immediately suplexes a horse.
Another hit. That's gonna be 10 more damage.
Yeah.
He needs to make another DC 14 dexterity saving throw.
He also succeeded. I didn't want to do it. I wanted to
a horse. They've got those 4 legs. You know, they're hard to knock down.
I am then going to. I have the mobile feat, so I can move away without opportunity attacks.
Damn.
So I will take a 20-foot step. I'll move back 20 feet.
Bonkers.
Oof, mobile is insane. Monks.
I want to be what Lou is from now on.
Yeah. You stay.
Also, that was just how you take a fucking turn. That could just shout out to Wilson, bro. No. This is like, this is my favorite child right now. You know, just so you all know, that's how you take a turn.
No pressure.
I got lucky. They all hit. Truly, my greatest fear was that I would come guest on a show and be like, miss. I just got real lucky.
I would say that's Angus coming in hot.
Yeah,
Angus is angry. He's going to send their souls from this place.
That soul line was good. Did you do 21 points of damage, or did I miss an attack in there?
I think that it was on the unarmed attacks. It was 10 and 11.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss one because I knew you had 3 hits. Okay, great. So yeah, Angus, this is just like, you know, after this like smacking of the ship and the flying down, you all are kind of like recovering as Angus just throws this body off of there. There's just like this flicker behind his back as his like beetleness too is just like propelling him, just moving swiftly across the ground, rushing this massive centaur with this imposing chain, and he just, you know, does this move to it, hits it, like it clearly like jars its body, and he tries to pick it up for a second to get it in, and he like can't quite get it. But as it's pushing back against him, he's able to get all of these hits in, and it just coughs out some blood, and he goes, "Fine, you'll have to take my soul," and it just looks right back at you, and like whips that chain around.
Yeah.
Let's go. Angus looks back at his new friends and is like, "Yeah, this is it."
Angus has kind of a Nick Cage quality.
It's just 2 sides. There's 2 sides to this coin. There's like calm, peaceful, death is inevitable, and then there's death is here and I am it.
I like a lot.
Amazing. Death is here and I am it. Great. So that's going to bring up K.A.I.
All right, K.A.I will his guardian armor clicking into place. He will move forward with his powered steps 35 feet to charging towards this punk jacket human man.
Great.
It's Henry Rollins.
Yes, charging Henry Rollins. One of my thunder gauntlets disassembles and takes in energy from the surrounding area, drawing in cold energy, and I will cast Arcane Weapon as my bonus action.
Great.
And then as my action, I will take 2 attacks with my Thunder Gauntlet.
Great.
At this punk human.
Yeah, you just see this arcane construct's hands like glow with energy and kind of like move around a bit, and you take your swing at him. And what did you get to hit?
I got a 17.
That hits exactly.
All right.
So that first one just smashes into him, and you can see the energy kind of like pulse into his body.
And I'll take my second attack as well.
All right.
Which is exactly the same.
Great. Right. That other fist just connects right to it as well.
It's actually the same fist twice because I have a shield up, but it's like a mechanical fist, like he's getting hit with like a
Rock'em Sock'em robot.
Yeah, it's like
I was gonna say Hulk hands.
Yeah, totally.
The Pacific Rim rocket punch.
Sure. Oh yes, like the elbow turns into just like an exhaust.
Legitimately, the best part of that movie because it's the only part I remember.
Yeah.
I picture it like a little piston, like you punch once and then it just retracts and punches. Like you don't move your arm. It's just boom.
So he takes 20 points of thunder damage and an additional 3 points of cold damage.
So 23 damage altogether?
Did you say 20 points of thunder damage?
Mm-hmm. With 2 attacks.
Yep.
And he has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets other than me until the start of my next turn.
Great. It is good to know. This jackhammer of a arcane hand as you run up to him just totally crunches against his ribs, and the arcane energy like bleeds into him, and this cold damage freezes part of his chest, and he's just like, oh god, and he just like swears in a couple of different languages that you recognize, but and he just says filthy, awful things. And
never repeat it.
Yeah,
never repeat that.
Nice shirt.
And he goes, thanks, I made it myself. And you want to do anything else?
That's my turn.
All right. That's going to bring up the centaur, and he's going to go, Angus, I've had enough of you. And he's going to bear down and use his whole movement to charge at you.
Come for me, dog. Come for me.
And so I need you to make you're making opposing strength checks.
This is awesome.
Yeah. I wish somebody could animate this battle.
Right, I'm seeing it too. And it's like
this mug.
Hoofs and claws scraping in the dirt.
9 athletics for...
Okay, so he bowls you over, and so you are prone right now, and he tries to stamp you with his hooves, but it does not work. You are able to kind of like put your beetle body up, and it just kind of like glances off of you as he's trying to like squash you, and then he goes, fine, have some of this, and he is going to swing his...
on you. Oh.
Yeah.
It was a guess. It was a guess. I took the guess.
Close.
Drink pee.
Have some of this.
I mean, if you've ever talked to a horse, they love to piss
They do.
right in the middle of the conversation.
They do.
You don't have to talk to a horse to know that.
It's going to get a 14 to hit. Does that hit you?
That does not hit me.
It does not hit you. So he takes this chain and swings it down upon you, and you just kind of like combat roll out of the way, and it smashes down into the dirt. And you could tell when it smashes down next to you too, you would tell that this is not just a chain. Like it will do more damage than just a chain hitting you if it hits you, there's like some drips that come off of it, and it is imbued with a little bit of magical energy.
New toys.
It's a bee chain.
Then the person in the back is going to flick down their hood, and they are clearly elven, and they go, my captain told me to watch out for you. And he's just going to like hook shot almost, and you just see this of a spark fly over here, and I'm gonna need let's see, I'm gonna need Flute. Oh, this token's not supposed to be on there. I'm gonna need Klik, Flute, Moonboy, and Angus to all make dexterity saving throws for me.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I was hoping to get a turn in before I got exploded into cosmic dust.
I was hoping to not die again.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah. I knew it. For some reason, I knew it before I rolled it. There's that nat 1 we've been looking for.
Oh boy!
Yikes!
You hate to see it.
Hate to see
Harlan,
it.
I rolled a 2.
Okay.
I got a 5 total.
I got a
Great.
25.
Yeah!
And I'm going to be at 18.
18. All right. So Angus and the Windrider both see this flame kind of like fly overhead, and do the duck and cover thing. And Klik and Moonboy can't quite get there. And I just rolled so low on damage dice. I rolled.
God.
I rolled 5 1s out of the
Whoa!
the 10 dice out of the 10 d6s I rolled. Yep. I got some new like Firma Regna kind of like themed dice that chat recommended to me in our Discord. So join our Discord. We talk about dice. I'm stalling to do math in my brain, and that is going to be 26 points of fire damage, and it is half for Angus and the Windrider. So you only take 13 points of.
That would have one-shotted me. To unconscious.
That's right. It's because 21. That's right.
22 points.
Can I use can I use my reaction to do a protective psi field on the Moonboy? Is it too late? When am I supposed to do that?
Then, because it's a reaction, so you can do that as like when he takes damage, I react to by doing this. So yes, you can.
Right.
Yeah, you will see the psionic energy just kind of ripple off of Klik's body and wrap itself around the Moonboy and just push some of those flames back, which would be especially impressive to you, Angus, as not all Kreen have psionic abilities, and it is kind of like in a lot of cultures around Kreen is like very impressive and cool.
And very impressive and cool. She says that.
You say that?
Oh, because she sends out a burst of psionic energy.
But you say it in Kreen. You say it.
I'm very impressive and cool.
Angus looks up from the ground, dodging this chain, and is like, "It is impressive and cool."
Also, Goat and Relic, you see your ship, Angus, took fire damage from that and is slightly on fire. And Relic and Goat are out there like dumping buckets of water on it this turn to like put it out.
Oh, I'm glad. Angus is immediately glad they came along.
Yeah.
Right.
The moon did not steer you wrong.
How much do I not take?
I am checking something right now.
Moonboy, you only take. Oh no, you mean from the psionic thing? Sorry.
How much I am preventing? Okay, so I'm very impressive and cool, and I also rolled a 1 on my d8.
Okay.
So I prevent 2 damage.
Great. I'll happily take 2 back.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Great. So you have. You have stopped. You have pushed a little bit of that fire off, and it's now going to bring up.
I'm sorry, Harlan. Can you say the number again? It was 26 damage.
Yeah, so it was 26 damage if you failed the check. So you and the Moonboy both have taken 26 points of damage. Yep. No problem. It is going to be the Moonboy's turn, actually.
Okay. So the Moonboy takes this hit, and he gets blasted back, and he gets pretty sizzled, you know. And he steps forward kind of crispy, and he throws his cloak back, and he goes, You know, Angus, the moon doesn't just tell me secrets. It's also told me how to beat ass. And he draws this sword he has this little scimitar on his belt, and he draws the sword, and a much larger sword than should be possible comes out, and it is burning with moonfire. This moonfire katana. He pulls out as he casts Flaming Sword as a bonus action, just saying he does it first because it was cool.
Love it.
And he steps forward and he kind of brings the sword up to his face and he whispers something to it in Moonboy. And I'm going to need that centaur the chain that it's holding begins to burn with white hot moonfire. And I'm casting heat metal on that chain. So,
okay, all right.
Nice.
You cause the object to glow red hot. Any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage when you cast a spell. So,
all right, roll. Yeah, it's trying to just smash Angus with it, like a like a chain. I was about to say like
Sure.
great DMing. Yeah, I'm a master.
The chain smashes like a chain would.
Like metal links locked together in a moving line.
Okay.
So don't make fun of me in front of the guests. And
more.
Wow. Okay, so this is how things work on Better Than Heroes.
Furthermore, I would need said centaur to make a Constitution saving throw, and I'll tell you what happens if you don't beat a DC.
I got a 10.
Doesn't do it, so you're gonna drop that chain.
Cool.
Nice.
Chain is out of the game.
It glows red hot, like it's this bright color, and he drops it immediately. It's like oh!
7 damage, please.
It almost lands on Angus, but does not.
That is 7 damage from the burning hot chain, and the Moonboy is going to after that cool thing, he's going to cowardly shuffle behind Klik and Flute.
Great, yeah. You step out, pull a sword out of nowhere, cause a chain to burn, and have this victorious moment, and then slip back behind.
And now I have to go away for a moment.
It is the punk human's turn, and he's going to whip out 2 swords in each hand, and he's like, I've got 2! They're better than 1! And he's going to try and slash at you. That was not me being a dumb DM. This is a dumb NPC. I just
we got that one. We got that one 100%.
We know
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you stroking my ego. And K.A.I, he's going to slash at you. He got a 23 to hit and a 15 to hit.
23 hits.
All right, great. Which means
That is great.
you were going to take 7 points of piercing damage and 10 points of poison damage.
I'm immune to poison damage.
Look at that.
Can't poison a robot.
You dodge the first swing, and the second one.
I have resistance to poison damage.
So you only take 5 damage from that. Yeah. So the second blade sticks into your side, and you can feel the dripping of this liquid inside of you, and it doesn't quite take hold because it is used to going into the bloodstream, and here it cannot. So it just kind of burns up a bit of your insides, whatever is inside of you, and he looks at you and he's like, ooh, I don't know what you are, but I'm still gonna kill you. And he kind of readies himself with both swords again, and that's gonna bring up Flute after that.
All right. I'm going to I'm gonna look at the Moonboy after our bonding night, drinking and discussing being sidekicks, and I'll be like, I'll kind of put a hand on his shoulder and say
best not to bunch up, Mr. Boy.
And I'm going to cast or give him Bardic Inspiration. He gets 1d8 Bardic
Mr.
Inspiration.
Boy!
Best not to bunch up, Mr.
Absolutely.
I'm going to run over here. Let's see here. 5, 10. I'm going to run over here. And as I run, I start to, I get sort of doubled over with a bit of a hacking cough. And as I come up, my one remaining eye is starting to occlude with wisps of black liquid. And I'm sort of blinking. And
sure.
I'm going to stretch out my hand at this punk rock dude and cast Ray of Sickness on him.
Whoa, metal.
Oh boy.
And this blackish green energy will come out. I got a 13 on that ranged spell.
That misses.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Which one are you casting it on? The
Punk rock boy.
Punk rock boy. Yeah, that misses the punk rock boy.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And then I assume this map is there are no objects. There's no barrels, crates, anything.
No, in fact, it's kind of like oddly plain here because
Great.
they have just recently bought it. Yep.
Okay. Then that is my turn.
Nice. Great. Okay, cool. Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is like a out of character thing for Flute to cast. Is this a newer spell for you, or
my companions have never seen me cast it, and it would be a surprise to me that it has like come out of me, this like array of like sickly like gross energy. After I cast it, my like blink and like my eye kind of like returns to normal.
Yeah, there is a it is uncharacteristic. It is an uncharacteristic moment of magic that comes out of the Windrider here. And after that, it's going to be Klik's turn, and then Angus, after that, we will be back to you. So, Klik, what you doing?
My turn. I pull out the Githka from behind my back, and I spin it a couple of times, and we come and slice that centaur.
Slice that centaur.
It's a dry cream party over here, dude.
Yeah. What? Yes. Too many legs. Everybody's got legs.
Look at all these legs, dog. You can't handle these legs.
You've been creamed.
You got 2 legs? Well, we got 6 legs.
I really like the idea of hearing that battle call. You can't handle these legs! As 2 Thry-Kreen descend on the centaur.
Man, 2 Thry-Kreen and a centaur. You guys have, what, 20 legs between
10 legs for 3 people.
Legs aplenty.
Legs for days, baby. Okay, he's prone, right? Is he prone?
Angus is prone. That is correct, yep.
Angus is prone. Okay.
Yep.
That's what I was going to say. For chat, Githka is a 2, it's like a double-bladed polearm, so I've got a big, like, curved moon blade on one end and then a pointy end on the other for stabbing.
Very cool. Very impressive.
Actually, Angus would probably know enough about Kreen culture to know that this is made out of saliva, different mucuses and spit from her actual body. So
Angus honestly is like very impressive. It's like there's a little bit of like flirtation, there's a little bit of like awe in that way of like, wow, Klik is really something.
With
you can't handle these legs.
I've never seen a gal with a loogie blade quite like that.
Exactly.
It's so good. Okay, I gotta roll to hit. I'm gonna use the curved end on this centaur and swing at his chest.
Go for it.
That is where's my 17 hit?
Yep, that hits exactly as you just, he's trying to defend against you and you just crush it right in there past him. And he doesn't have a chain to hold on to. He doesn't have anything to defend himself, so you just like get up in there. So if you want to roll that other attack too, and then you can do your damage all together, go for it.
So I have 3 attacks now because I'm a level 5. I'm all grown up, so I can attack, and then I have a bonus attack because I have the two-handed weapon.
Yeah, why don't you can roll, if you want to do all of those attacks, you can just roll the d20 all of the times.
Third one, 19 hit on the second roll, and 21 to hit on the third.
Yeah.
All right, and damage.
Get up in there.
10 plus 10 plus 3, 7. So 27 damage.
27 damage. Yeah.
Whew.
So you just
flash.
You just come in there with expert moves, especially with the centaur distracted by his hands being burnt, like not expecting you, like pretty focused on Angus, unsure of your crew and what your abilities are. And you just come in there and literally slice him up. You get that first good hit across his chest, and then he's like turn to look at you to defend himself, but you like pump fake him, get another slash in there, and then as he's protecting himself from like that same attack that hit, he's like ready for it now, you flip it around and just stab up into his chest. And he's looking very wounded right now as you just get all three of those in there. He's like, oh god, he just spits out a big mouthful of blood and he goes, Angus, who are your friends? I'm gonna kill them too.
You're not going to kill my friends.
You would what chain, centaur?
Angus full snaps, just straight up, like playground, just straight. What?
Here's something I learned on Earth.
His little bug fingers. He's got 3 fingers.
It's the little ones too. It's not the big ones. It's like one of the little ones that comes out.
The little ones are made for snapping.
Yeah. Handshakes and snapping.
Oh God! Hell yeah!
Shade fingers. They're
all right.
Shade fingers.
Stop being funny. I have D&D to do.
Shade fingers was really good.
Okay. Klik, unless you want to do anything else, it is Angus's turn. K.A.I, you're after that. All right, cool. Great turn.
Angus is going to make is going to get up from prone, half his movement, attack the centaur, try and creen it. That's going to be a 19 plus whatever. That's going to be that'll be 10 damage.
Gotcha. I'm recording, so you can keep going if you just want to keep going down.
That'll be 10 damage, and then Angus is going to look at Klik and be like, "Very cool, very impressive." I'm going to let you handle this one. And just take 3 bounding steps, cast Step of the Wind, and leap off this ledge toward the hooded figure. With Step of the Wind, I get another 50 plus the 20 that I had, the other 25 I had from the other half. And I believe it's 70. They're 70 feet away from me, so I think I can clear that.
Sure. Yeah, you're jumping down there too, so yeah, you can do that. Or do you avoid opportunity attacks, or was that just that one time?
With the mobile feat, because I attacked the centaur cannot.
Okay, cool.
It does not get an opportunity attack on me, and I'm gonna full. We'll go all the way to the hooded figure, and I'm gonna make an attack on them.
Great, absolutely. Yeah, you can get over there with that. What a build. And then
and then I got one more attack left.
You do this like monk jump down there that is just like so graceful as you like leap off every parkour kid's dream as you just kind of like down here. And yeah, Klik, it's the opposite of you jumping up into the sails as he just like jumps down so gracefully. And you can see fear in this elf's eyes as it thought it was protected here. And it's like, stop. And he says to you right before you attack him, he goes, "We could use you in the Meridian Tract. Don't do this."
Never been a friend of I hate a widower. I definitely dislike the Meridian Tract. And I bring my fist down on them. That'll be that's going to be a 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
Great. And then I'm going to use Stunning Strike. So they need to make a DC 14 con saving throw.
Surprise. I got a natural 20 on the con. Sorry.
That's all good. Hey, but I'm in their business, and they take 10 points of damage. Cool. Oh, excuse me. I apologize. They take 9 points of damage.
All right, great. So yeah, you see the fear like well in this elf's eyes again, and it's like shit, they say, and you just clock them, and there's like a crack in their face, and they look up, and you can tell that they are like concentrating, and they shake it off, and they're like, no, and they get ready to cast a spell. And
oh, good.
do you have anything else you can do? Is that it?
No, that's it. That's my turn.
Cool. Kai, it's your turn.
All right, I'm going to take 2 steps sort of behind the guy that I'm engaged with.
Mm-hmm.
My fiance. I'm going to give him.
You have to stop doing this.
What are you doing here?
And I'm going to strike him.
Here.
I'm going to strike him twice with my Thunder Gauntlet. That is a 20.
Okay, that absolutely hits.
And a 21.
Okay, cool. That also hits. Yeah, you all are rolling hot tonight, let me tell you.
Seriously.
It's
Except for that nat 1.
Yeah,
I got a 2.
that fireball did pop off.
25 points of thunder damage and 2 points of cold damage.
And that was to the punk, right?
To the punk.
Yep. Okay, cool. So it again just like smashes into this punk character, and just you jackhammer him again, and it's like a boxing match almost, but the other person is not defending, like doesn't box. You're just kind of like beating up on this person, crushing them, and it thinks it like keeps thinking it has a chance. It keeps trying to be tough as it has its sword out, but you are just bigger and stronger, and just bash into them here, and they look very, very wounded, just on the last leg here.
All right, and my armor projects a defensive field around me, a quick flicker of energy, and I will use my bonus action to gain 5 temporary hit points.
Okay, great. Awesome. Yeah, you see this, your arcane energy just kind of like ripples out and protects you in this way. Cool, anything else?
That's it for me.
The centaur is going to say, fine, I'll deal with one bug, and is going to is going to use its bonus action to pick up the chain, and is going to whip it at... Is it still hot, or was that just that one time, Moonboy? I should know this.
This is still hot. If he wants to pick it up...
Hot!
Still hot. I haven't taken any damage.
No, he's going to... He's going to instead then use its hoof attack and try and stamp you. So that it's not gonna hit. I got like a 10. Yeah, so he's again trying to squash this bug and can't quite do it. And he's like, "Come, I hate this planet," he says as he's like trying to stomp on you, and it's not working very well at all. And that's gonna bring up the elf, who is going to look at you, Angus, and say, "Please stop." And he's going to cast a spell with his hand here, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Okay.
Right.
Only a 6.
Okay, cool. You see Angus's large form down into a small chicken.
Why are you chained?
You are changed fully into a small chicken.
Right.
And he goes,
no.
"That's
You turned a big bug into it.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
These things happen.
They go, that's much better." And that is its whole turn, and it's going to now bring up Moonboy.
Okay, so give me just a second here. I have to make sure that I have my spells.
Sure. So while this is happening, you can see that Goliathan and Moss are both clearly bound and gagged and tied to this physical ship, and have been kind of like this whole time, like trying to, just like cheering you on silently, but clearly are not able to make any noise or move at all, in case you were wondering. Moonboy, what are you doing?
Moonboy is going to run forward to the edge of here. He's going to see what has happened with Angus down there. And wait, it was Angus, not Klik, who got probably left, right?
Angus got turned into a chicken, yeah.
And I am going to cast Dispel Magic.
Oh, all right. Let's see. Do I get to make a save, or is this just done so?
Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. Any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. For each spell of 4th level or higher on the target, make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level.
Okay, I'm gonna have you roll a DC 14 check then, because it was a 4th level spell.
13. This is it's that. I see. I understand.
Yep, it is a 4th level spell.
Okay, well, shoot. Didn't make it.
That was a good try. Really good idea.
You engage with this, like you see the spell cast, you see this caster, and you have this idea, and you're like, hoo-hoo, and you walk over, and you know that it can wipe away these spells, and it pushes at it, and you can feel it trying to like wipe it away.
Yeah.
And the elf looks up at you, and they're like, no.
Yeah, the Moonboy kind of reaches out, and you see this phantasmal moon kind of appear over the chicken, and and for a moment the chicken looks with a glint of sentience, like he's going to change back, but then the moon is extinguished, and the Moonboy falls to one knee, and he goes, "Damn it!" And he casts as a bonus action. Healing word, not on himself, but on Klik.
Aw, you
Great.
sweetie.
Great. Some real team energy going on. I like it.
Gotta get that team energy going.
That's going to bring up this punk humanoid who is going to use, again, both of its attacks here at K.A.I. As he's beat up, bleeding from his nose, just kind of had his inside's pretty crushed, and he is going to get that first hit is going to be a 21, so that'll hit.
That hits.
So you take 8 slashing damage and 4 poison damage.
So
and yeah.
You get 7 back, by the way, Klik. 7 hit
Thanks,
points.
Yeah. And then I just rolled a 2 and 2 1s for that poison damage, in case you're keeping track at home. And then the second one is going to be a natural 1. So with the
Bad day.
with that second swing, he falls off balance and just slips and falls up prone in front of you. And that's going to end his turn. And Flute, you are up.
All right. I'm going to run up to the guy who just biffed it. I'm going to slash at him with my scimitar. I have advantage because he's prone, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Does a 15 hit?
It absolutely, it does not. A 15 does not hit, sorry.
So I missed with my scimitar. Does a 19 hit?
A 19 does hit.
Okay. So yeah, I miss with my scimitar, and I kind of spin around, and I draw the dagger that's in the back of my belt, and I'm going to stab him with the dagger, and that will do. That will be 6 damage for that, and then I end with like my scimitar and dagger sort of crossed with. I'm going to expend a bardic inspiration to use defensive flourish, which will add 4 more damage. So 10 damage, and then that 4 gets added to my AC till the end of my next turn.
Cool. So with that, you rush up onto him, and this is the first time you've been close enough for him to have this moment of recognition as you have the wig on. And he goes, "Flute?" And you just into him with your blades, and he is dead with those hits. So he just has this moment of recognition, and you just kind of like lean in down with these slashes, and he is out of initiative and done so. Cool. And that is going to bring up Klik. Angus, you will be after that. K.A.I, you will be after that.
Tell me if this is an option. If I make my attack with my Gitka, can I use my second attack with with the crossbow?
No.
No?
Yeah.
All one weapon?
No.
Okay.
Wait, no. That you can.
I have an extra attack.
Yes, you can. Since you have 2 attacks, you can. Yes.
Okay, but my bonus attack has to be the Gitka because that's the double-bladed weapon, right?
Correct. Yeah, I mean, you can choose not to do that, but you can't, like... Yeah.
What? Why? Okay. I'm gonna scooch around the side of this Gitka, the centaur. And I'm going to use my bonus action to hit him with a Gitka.
Go for it.
Try and sickle that guy. I sickle that guy. 23 to hit.
That hits.
Damage on that one is for 8.
Alrighty.
I will, and then I'll use my first action to stab him. I'll stab him in the leg,
Go
one
for
of
it.
his legs. Fuck your legs.
Roll that d20.
Fuck your legs.
Say 18 to hit.
That'll hit. Damn, you guys are just... You've like missed it 3
I have
times.
a very
guys.
big modifier and a +1 weapon now.
Yeah.
It's very helpful. That was low. 6 damage on that.
That is exactly what you needed to squash this boy. As you just... you kind of like... get that first hit and you can see the fatigue happen in the centaur, its weakness, and there's maybe like a little moment where you're like, wait, him and Angus were like talking earlier, and you look toward this chicken maybe for like advice on whether or not you should murder this dude, and I feel like I know what your answer is, but if you want to give her a chicken answer, I'm happy with.
You just see you hear the chicken just silently.
Yeah. The chicken gave me the nod.
Cool. That's the animation I want to see.
The chicken narrowing its eyes.
It puts up like one claw.
Yeah, just like from the bottom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see the centaur come down and pivot on my foot and shoot a crossbow at this elf.
Great.
I'm gonna
for it.
Turn around and try and shoot this bad boy. That was actually a good roll. 16. My modifier is a little less tiered. Wow, 23.
That hits.
22 to hit.
That hits.
That's this one. 9 damage.
Okay, cool. Your crossbow sinks into his side, and he has to make a Constitution check to see if he keeps up his polymorph. He got a 7+. I needed to get a. Nope, I got a 9, and I needed a 10. So
You go de-chickened.
with this crossbow hit, he's just like, no, and you see this like flicker in his eyes and around him, and the chicken, it's a very odd scene to see a chicken turn into a giant beetle man. Because it's not a poof, it's more of a like and yes, you see like some just like little feathers like fly off of you, Angus, but then you are back in commission now, just in time.
And for the rest of your life, late at night, you'll have a craving for corn that you'll never be able to explain away.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna use my movement real fast.
Sure.
How far is that fall?
It's only it's 10 feet down.
Neat. Well, I will run and jump 30 feet. And so it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 10, 20. So that puts me like here.
Sure. Yep.
Because I got a 30 feet jump and will approach chicken. The D-chickened.
D-chicken.
D-chicken to Angus.
That's my turn.
Cool. Great. The that's going to bring up Angus. It is now your turn.
Angus turns around and like bows to Klik. Just full on bows. Then turns around to this hooded figure and just says, "Bok bok, motherfucker."
Take advantage for your attack. That was too fucking good. I don't care. It's not like it's gonna survive. Go for it. That was amazing.
Yeah. First one is 22.
That's one hit.
Second one is going to be super high as well. That's a natural 16 on the die.
Cool.
That's 19 damage for the first round of hits, and then we'll flurry of blows.
Why not?
Yeah, you're not there yet. He's still up.
Great. I'm gonna spend 1 key point to. I'm gonna spend 1 key point to stunning strike on one of those hits. So DC 14 con save.
Ooh, I got a 3 plus. Yep, not enough.
Great. He is stunned. So we'll continue to make these sick Wesley Snipes inspired attacks with advantage. Great. That's going to be a 15 on the die. Hits.
It hits.
And then only a 9, which I don't think will hit.
What? It's 9 on the dice or 9 altogether?
9 altogether.
Okay, yeah, that does not hit.
And that'll be a 8 damage, and he automatically fails the Dex saving throw. So he is can we get real crazy? No, we won't get real crazy. He's prone. He's prone.
That works out great because he had 7 hit points left. So, this is just your night has been majestic. All of your nights have been majestic. You've just been rolling so high and then getting just the amount of damage that you've needed. So something has blessed us tonight. And yeah, so you knock him prone, and you just see him just kind of go hazy after all of these attacks, and you just smash him into the ground.
I think the last attack is straight up with my horn, just straight up like a headbutt into the ground.
Yeah,
lights out.
Awesome.
Yeah, you kind of flick him up as though undercut him, so he's falling, and then as he's up, you just slam him down.
That rules. That's great.
And we are out of initiative.
Good fight.
Good fight. So just real quick, I would love to resolve this a bit before we take off. I know we're running late here, but so I imagine you all quickly, once you're down and you have this safe moment, it is not hard for you to guess that there are probably more widowers around somewhere, so you need to move quickly. So I imagine you would run over to and untie both Goliath and Swan, right?
Yeah, I would do that right away.
Yeah. Yes. Swan is oh boy, Angus, I knew you were gonna get me out of this one. God damn,
Swan. You knew I wasn't gonna leave you hanging. I mean, after all you've let me do down at the docks, I mean, not a lot of guys would let me get away with that. So I appreciate you.
You prove yourself to me over and over again. And he goes, plus I've heard people say the word widowers around you, so I know.
Just twice into the ground.
Which is our ship. Oh, God damn it.
He's Swan goes, look, I got to hide and you got to hide. Can I get on that ship of yours? We got to get out of here. They went to come and take over my dock. So if I get out of here and, there ain't gonna be too hard to guess who broke me out of here. So we got to go lay low. We got to go get out, hang in the wilderness for a bit. You feel good about that?
I feel great about that.
Good.
And I looked at all of the friends that I made, and I just, friends, that was awesome. You all are incredible.
You're very good at fighting the widowers.
It was all you, man.
Hey, it's all heart for me. I mean, it's just when you hate something that much, it just is easy. But don't hesitate to call on me again. You all are something special. Come on, let's go, Swan.
And Swan goes, wait, I got to do one more thing. And he turns to Goliath and he goes, I'm sorry, bud. And he walks over to and kind of like kneels down to his dwarf cowboy looking friend, and he gives Goliath a big hug. And he goes, I wish we had more time to just hang out. This shit always happens to us. And Goliath goes, yep, it does. God damn it. He goes, plus those the Meridian tracked us here now, and I can't keep running from them. He's like, we're gonna have to do something about that. And he goes, well, I'm gonna run, so good luck. And they kind of like embrace one more time, and he goes, Swan goes, Angus, is Squawk on board?
Come on now.
Oh,
Come
thank
on
God.
now.
He's like,
he's on board.
I was like, I could use a good time. And he kind of like jollily walks along with you.
Angus, wait.
Yes.
Before you go, I will lean into him and I will give him a sandwich.
Were you making sandwiches over there?
This is for you. I already had it from before.
This is what a gift. I'm gonna fully embrace K.A.I. In the same kind of awkward fashion, or no, a much more confident fashion. Yeah. I give like a confident. The two arms go over, and then the two inner arms come around the side.
Sure. Do we roll for a hug?
Is this the first time that K.A.I has been proactively hugged? I think so. This is K.A.I.'s first proactive hug.
He has been the recipient of a hug.
There's no such thing as an awkward hug.
Okay, so. Here better than heroes, we roll for hugs.
That is true.
I will, as Goliathan is like going to board the ship and is clearly like getting it ready to fly out of here. The crew of the Dinger has been kind of like keeping an eye on how things are happening, and have, once the fight ended, they've kind of like been like, oh, nice. And they all kind of like slap hands with you as they go by, Angus. And Goat nods at you, and just is like, thanks, I needed that. And they all go to board the ship. And right as the two ships are about to part ways, let's have you roll for a d20 just for a real quick hug roll to see how good this hug is.
Hug check.
Right.
Hug check.
That's going to be a 10 on the hug.
Okay, cool.
Right down the middle.
With advantage, because I'm helping.
Okay. Let's go. Halfway to a nat 20. Let's do it. Let's have a nat 20 hug.
Guys.
Oh. That's what. Okay, it's going to be a 10 hug. It's going to be a flat 10 hug.
All right. That's fine.
So,
look, you guys just met. You can't put that much pressure on it.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It leaves you with this moment of, it doesn't quite work, but the intention is there, and you're like, it leaves you with the moment like, well, I guess we'll just have to hug again sometime. Kind of feel like you both kind of like nod and
we gotta practice.
There'll be a sequel to this hug.
Yeah. I think as the Moonboy and follows the others onto the ship, and he watches Angus walk away, he says to the Windrider, he says, God, he's so cool. Do you think we could be his sidekicks?
You said K.A.I? Is that what you said?
No, he says it to the Windrider.
Oh, yeah, but you said K.A.I is so cool?
About Angus.
Right?
No, about Angus.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you said K.A.I is so cool.
No, I said, God, he's so cool.
I'll kind of like nod distracted. I'm like looking at that dead punk rocker dude like I'm hearing something coming from him, and I'm gonna ask Klik, like,
Klik, give me a hand with this guy. Let's drag him on board. I can hear him still talking.
What? Klik and Windrider have been through something together, and but she's confused and knows he can't carry the heft of a man. So she picks him up and carries him on board the ship.
I'll get his boots.
Oh yeah, I should note that the Moonboy had his shoes off for this whole thing. He forgot to put them
Yeah,
on.
yeah, that's great.
He's canonically left them on the other ship.
Oh dang it!
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Klik does turn to say goodbye to Angus. This is the first Kreen she's like officially met since she left home. So I feel like that's a big thing for her, where she's like,
I think Angus looks at Klik with like a real like look of admiration for her like prowess in battle, and like in Kreen, like using like his weird mandibles and like clicks, is just like, you are so cool, so impressive. When you said it, you spoke truth.
"Aww."
And then
she bows a little bit with all four hands.
Okay.
Looks at this man.
And then Angus is going to turn to Swan and be like, "What's her deal? I mean, I'm I'm not. Of course, I'm a monk. I'm not even a monk anymore. Just like." Is like she's single or like what's up?
You'll have to ask her next time. I don't speak for other people, man. Come on, you know that about me. Of course. I don't know what's going on in that ship. I can't tell who's who or why or what. So I just
great.
Yeah.
Well, let's get in there. I think that the child Moonboy left something called a Moonboy. I think he made a couple of them, and then everyone didn't have time to drink them. So there's a couple of pre-made cocktails waiting for us.
It's
I
got
like your style.
It's got a shoe in each one.
Okay, never mind.
That's where he left his shoes. That's one of the ingredients in a Moonboy.
So both crews board their ships with their respective drinks waiting for them, and they you all kind of have this moment where both of your ships kind of like engage, and you can see you hear a couple of yells, and you can't quite see anyone, but you can tell that it's been acknowledged that something has happened here, and but with enough time for both of your ships to kind of like lift up in the air and go up and around, kind of like on the outskirts of Firma Regna, not fully going away, just like your ship, definitely Angus, is kind of like out of here, just going out and around, and the dinger is kind of like curving a bit more, but doing its part to get out and away and shake things for a bit before any ships can follow them. And we will pick it up here next week with that. So, thank you so much for being our first guest ever on the show.
Any guest you guys have on here is lucky to be here. This is fantastic. You're a great DM. Ego should be stroked generously and often. And you guys are fantastic. This was awesome.
Thanks for coming, man. It was a lot of fun. What is the multi-class that you did on Angus?
No multi-class. It's just a level 5 variant, like variant human skinned to like Tohr-Kreen, and then just an open way of the open palm level 5 monk with the mobile feat.
Oof, monks are so nasty.
Monks are so nasty.
Monks with the Kreen upside is like
Tohr-Kreen
now.
It's
ridiculous.
It's a legendary combination.
Like,
it really
do you just want to let a Kreen be able to naturally jump, like a monk be able to naturally jump 30 feet, just like built in?
I mean, and then Step of the Wind, I think doubles that, so we're already at 60.
Bananas.
Wild.
Bananas.
It's insane.
It's so good.
Natural movement is 40.
Does anyone want to plug anything before we take off for the night? Obviously, everyone go follow Lou. Follow him on Instagram. We've posted about it. It's not hard to find. We'll post in the chat too. Lou, do you want to plug anything specifically besides your amazing D&D abilities?
No. I've been listening to a lot of music by this person, Orion Sun. It's just a great album. If you're looking for something to listen to, I'll plug that.
Cool.
That's classy.
That's
Nice.
I
great.
love it.
That's my new. I mean, yeah, you can look at my Instagram and then go listen to a song. There you go.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I love that.
Beautiful.
Awesome. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for hanging out with us late tonight. Anybody else? Last call.
Harlan and I have a DM talk show every Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time. This
shit.
week
Yeah.
we have comedian John Roy from Los Angeles.
The best.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
Very funny
Such
guy.
a nerd,
Very
so funny.
he's going to be on the show this Thursday. So if you want to check that out, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, right here on this channel.
Hell yeah. Shout out Big Top.
Shout out Big
Productions.
Top.
Big Top.
Sponsor. Shout out Tiger Moon Productions.
Yeah.
Case
Thanks,
Jury.
guys.
Shout out.
Truly.
I'm Razor Lou here on Twitch. Go give me a little follow if you want to watch me try to stream Hollow Knight is what I'm currently playing. Whew.
Heard it's good.
It is. It's so good.
I am a co-host on a podcast about Magic the Gathering. It's a comedy magic podcast called The Commander's Sphere with a fellow comedian Dan Sheehan. It's a lot of fun. Please check it out.
The best. And just check out our socials and follow us on all the places. We love you.
Yeah. Because remember, if you want to support our show, the best way to do that is to tell your friends about it. All right. Thanks, y'all. We'll see you next week. Thanks so much, Lou. Bye,
Thank
y'all.
you.
Thank you, Lou.
Bye.
Stargazer, Moonboy, Klik, the Crusher, K.A.I, Humbly Chef, and the Windrider, Flute, Whimteaser. They're better than heroes.